Okay.
Yeah, sure. And one thing, from just building this game didn't just give us a resonating of collaboration, but
Yeah.
it opened doors to superpower. It gave us a superpower in the industry because actually when we looked at working together, because as much as Africa is big, we looked at technology is now here, so we didn't limit ourselves. So this is why we had like back-to-back communication, virtual calls, and keeping ourselves updated on the project. And when we started creating this, I remember our first prototype when we started creating in Panga, we used this software Unity, and
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Youthwave Talent Hub, one wave of talent at a time. Today I'm with two inspiring CEO from Malaika Games and Chroma Pixel Games, Isdin and Edwin.
Okay, hello everyone. It's Claire from Talent Hub, and today I'm with two amazing guests. I'm really excited to be with Izin and Edwin, and I will let them introduce themselves. So, Izin, you go first.
Thank you, Claire. Nice to meet you. So, hello everyone. My name is Isdin Ibrahim. I'm the founder of Malaika Games, video games companies based in Benin, and we're working on mobile games. And yeah, that's I think what I can say about that. So, Edwin, can you introduce yourself, please? Maybe after we can give more, more detail on our journey and all this stuff.
All right. All right, everyone. My name is Edwin Capesa. I'm the founder and CEO of Chroma Pixel Games. We build cloud-based games and also virtual reality games.
Nice, nice. It's a pleasure to have you both. Thank you for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I've been personally following Gizin for a while, to be honest. So, can you guys tell us more about what you are working on together? What are your current projects?
Okay, so I'm going to maybe start. So we're working with Edwin on a project called Ipanga since 2022, I think, right? And we collaborate on the creation of 3D asset and props, as soon as also some aspect of game design. And yeah, now I will give the floor to maybe Edwin to give you more information about the project, because it's coming from, the company's Chroma Pixel Games, so he can give you more information about that. So Edwin, you can talk about the project.
All right. Great. Thank you so much, Isdin, on that explanation. Yeah. So we're working on a project called Impanga. It's an open world game which we've collaborated with Malaika Games to bring to life. So basically, the game is it's an open world game about Africa, which is going to be first sighted on Zambia. So we're gonna talk about the different tribes, cultures, and everything like that based off Zambia. So the vision of the game came when we looked at Western games from America. We looked at France games. We looked at games in UK. I'm like, Assassin's Creed talks about amazing European history. So like, I was like, how
Crazy.
can we create our own game about an African, like, because people are always fascinated about Africa. Like, what are all these tattoo markings people really do on their faces, the cultures, the dancing, the fighting, all that. So when I sat down with one of my narrative writers, we're like, we need to bring this game to life. Then by then, I think I was short with a few developers in the studio, because in Africa here, it's quite very difficult to find talent and skill.
Yeah.
So I had to like look at partnering and uniting amongst other Africans. And I came across Malaika Games on LinkedIn. I'm like, these guys look like somebody that can align to our vision and something that we are trying to create. So I reached out to Isdin and said, I'm working on this game. I want you guys to see how best you guys can come in. And then from there, we kicked on Isdin. I think you can carry on from there. And what happened next? Yeah.
We made the first time, I think. We were working I mean, since 2023 or 2022, but in a
Yeah.
on remote. And we met for the first time when we were invited to Moscow for the Moscow Creative Weeks. This is where we meet for the first time
Oh,
in
wow.
in the Dubai airport. I remember this day also. So it was so amazing. But yeah, and also before that, he was preparing himself for Africa Games Week 2022. He was supposed to showcase the game to to people, and we decided also to work in remote on what we have to do to to have something interesting to showcase to people, all this stuff. And even if in night, this guy called me, "Hey, Isdin, can you help me for this stuff? Can you?" Every time, every single hours, I'm receiving a message from these guys about the games. Every single hour. So, yeah, it was very interesting to to work together on the project. We have a lot of challenges, and we also realized that we need also a lot of support to achieve what we are looking for on this project. And it's not easy at all, but we trying to do our best to to reach our goal. So yeah. And yeah, Edwin, I think you have something else to add,
All
but
right.
okay.
Yeah, sure. And one thing, from just building this game didn't just give us a resonating of collaboration, but
Yeah.
it opened doors to superpower. It gave us a superpower in the industry, because actually when we looked at working together, because as much as Africa is big, we looked at technology is now here, so we didn't limit ourselves. So this is why we had like back-to-back communication, virtual calls, and keeping ourselves updated on the project. And when we started creating this, I remember our first prototype when we started creating in Panga, we used this software Unity, and
Yeah.
it was crazy. This is now when we saw now the power of teamwork. Like, oh, this thing is not showing. Oh, this is not
Unity.
really well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really a life learning journey when creating the game. And our vision still stuck to the open world structure, because there was a lot of challenges that came along the way, and we didn't want to pivot the game to another direction. We just wanted to constantly keep the vision of the game to stick to the open world, and teaching people the idea of the culture of Zambia, because we want to talk about, because we looked at the mysterious beliefs, conspiracies based upon Africa. So we had to actually learn from other game studios like Ubisoft, how they use the narrative driven to storyline and talk about their games and how they create these games. So Impanga was a game that would be a gift to Africans, and also a gift to people outside Africa to just know about what Africa is all about. Because I was in question a lot, so people would ask me, okay, what about how are you gonna cover up the storyline based off
Yeah.
Nigeria, South Africa? Because Africa is big, so how are you gonna cover up all that? Then I'm like, no. One thing I've learned from one of the biggest games like Assassin's Creed, like they have good DLCs. I'm like, this game is gonna keep going. There'll be different stories. So the first beginning of the story, this is where we looked at, okay, let's begin from this storyline plot. Then we'll talk about the Shaka, we'll talk about the other tribes in other countries like the Maasai and the rest. Yeah, it was incredible. And meeting in Russia for the first time when we met at the Dubai airport, it was something I was like, because this is like somebody you've been talking to like virtually like for months and years, then finally you get to meet each other. It was really, really, really incredible moments for me and this Dean when we were there.
Yeah.
And we got to like explore more on how best we can improve this industry from building this game that we are working on together.
I love this, and I have hundreds of questions. So I'm just going to start from there. So right now, what is the stage of the game? You said it's going to be an open world. It's going to be an open door for Africans and also people outside of Africa on Zambia. what is the stage of the game? Is it pre-production? Is it production? Do you have already like some levels? Tell me.
Okay, so the stage of the game right now, we are almost done with the game, but we are focusing on we're having focus teams to help us with game testing and also trying to improve the mechanics and trying to raise funds for us to explore. Because I told Isdin that I want us to go on an exploration on where we in something in game development called photogeometry, where you go do scans of real African crafts, like, so we put them in the game, like clay pots, the hair, the markings, the drawings. So, but for us to reach that stage of completion, we need all these resources. So, with the great channels and participation in all these online events that take place and acceleration programs, we are glad that we are part of this Digital Lab Africa. We won the acceleration program. So with the vision of this funds we might get from this acceleration program, we're trying to complete the game by bringing the game to life by putting these elements, because right now the game you can play it, but we want players to play Africa. We don't want players to play a game. We want them to actually feel Africa in the game.
Yeah, to feel Africa in the game.
Yes, that's why we want to put real stuff in the game. Even get consultation from the chiefs around Zambia and talk to them. They tell us what we need to talk about in there, because villages in my country, there's what you call oral communication, where they tell stories via verbal, but this verbal will no longer just be verbal, it will be action, because people will play their roles. They'll go back, what the ancestors had to go through, they will see all that. People who forgotten their way back home to Africa will remember where they are from through this game.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good point, because like I think like one of the strengths of the Africa continent and all the main market is really like the organic growth that you can get there, like even more I think than United States or any other country. So do you feel like when you have a game you want to publish and launch in Africa, it's even more important that you put in store a game that is polished, that is well done, and so on and so on, because people are going to speak about it, make some noises, as we know, or you feel like it's better to wait, and even if you have something it's not amazing, but still you would recommend to just test it?
Based on the publishing, if there's one thing I've learned through my journey in publishing small games that I worked on back in 2019, 2020, I remember that giving people something that is not yet done, it's a bit tricky, because the first impression they get is always important for the players. So I was advised to say that if we're truly creating this experience for Africa, we should at least have the core elements of the game at least ready. Then we give players to play it. But criticism, we are open. This is where we had to leak the video of Impanga at the stage it's at. But it was very exciting. We didn't expect positive feedback, honestly, because I was scared, because I know how many gamers are there in the world and how many cool games they are playing, and them looking at the stage of our game where it's at. Yeah, so there was a lot of people tell us this, they'll tell us that. It was a life learning thing when I was getting comments, and we looked at the best ways to improve the game at the stage it's at. Yeah.
I love this. I think it's really insightful. I think to some extent, the African market looks a lot. I was speaking about it to Isdin, to Japan, doing a lot of pre-registration. I think Web3 as well has been doing really well on the continent, and even there is some way of getting new users that are really similar. So I can definitely relate to this. I just wanted to go back on what you shared. So you shared like you had a lot of challenge, and it was a real journey to get to this stage, which I think is amazing experience sharing for our audience. And you mentioned something really interesting about talents. How difficult it is to have some kind of talent on the continent. So what talents or skills are now really difficult to find on the continent, or are not there, and why?
Okay, maybe I can start. But on our side, it's easily to find a game programmer, for example. It's not hard to find people who want to make programming in the game industries, and also sometimes 3D. But about 3D is more complicated because we don't have people with hard skill in 3D environment, on 3D environment. They just have the skills that can just be necessary to develop something very easy, simple, not something very hard that we can, not something in high quality. Let's say that, like people waiting for on the on the market. This is also a point of view, and but what you can find very easily is game programming. Yeah, these skills is a lot in Africa. Yeah, people are but about art skills, if it is 3D programming, 3D let's say 3D design or animations, and also sound also we can find sound is also easy to find. Sound design in Africa is also easy to find sound design, but in my point of view, it's hard to find people with 3D skills and animation in Africa for the moment. Yeah, I don't know if Edwin have different experiences on that, but on our side,
No, I mean, I think it totally makes sense. Do you feel like AI is going to kind of shift the thing, or
AI, people scare about AI because of IP behind. I don't know why, but they think that if we use AI to design our game, it's not exactly our property. It's not really our property. They think that it's generated by AI, so maybe someone else can come and say, okay, it's not your game because you use AI. AI is open, open software, all this stuff, but it's not like you imagine that from yourself and yourself, or you design it yourself, everything, all this stuff. But yeah, AI can be interesting, but we need to find the right way or the correct way to use it on our game to be sure that even if we use it, the game is our property at the end. Yeah.
definitely? I mean, I think like there is still some trial against or for AI, so it's still kind of a blurry area. I can totally relate. I have a question actually for you, is in more regarding like all the work you made on the 3D on the game. Did you have a specific process to stay authentic to Zambia? Did you decided to make it really like the Zambia we could see nowadays, or you had a different narrative? What was your creative thinking process?
We stay focused on Zambia spirit, let's say like that, because it depends on the game design direction according to the project. So we try to stay on this area. But if we have other artistical direction, we can try to go away. But also maybe let's say you can also put our own direction, like in Benin we have Amazons, so we can try to have a kind of also character in the game that can also be inspired from our Amazon on Benin, and also try to join that to the Ipanga stories, something like that. But basically we just try to focus on Zambia stories.
Nice, sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah, go ahead, Edwin.
No. I was just agreeing to his dean. I was agreeing to his dean. Yeah.
Okay, so Edwin, I mean, I love your project. I think it's a really, really interesting idea. Did you decide to make it on mobile, on the Play Store, on like now you have Transsion as well, you have web. What was your idea behind it?
So the idea, actually, the target platform is supposed to be PC, and now since we had some attention from we got some attention from Xbox, so we are also thinking of taking out to the Xbox and PlayStation and other platform. But looking at the most accessible device to play hardcore games like Impanga, PC is the most common platform based here in Africa
Yeah.
when it comes to playing like games and everything like that. Yeah. Then probably maybe in future we will see how best we can cooperate the game into mobile. So but again, I sat down, I love brainstorming a lot. So my team and I, we thought of like how can we still get that uh thing of mobile platform for Impanga to be accessible on the mobile device platform. So we have another upcoming game called Saharan Sands, which has talks about the characters of Impanga and the storyline of Impanga through card games. So instead of you battling the way we're battling in Impanga with the console and PC, you use African heroes through cards like that. So it's educating you about the other game and stuff like that. Yes. So that's what we did. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Awesome.
mm.
But I don't know if we can share the last trailer that we made for Ipanga. Also, I'm trying to share it if you allow me to share it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Or just send me the link and I will add it, in the recording.
Okay, the link. Let me find it on LinkedIn quickly.
Yes.
Mm,
I will just add it like as we speak, so people they can actually see the product. I think it's so important, especially a quality game as the one you collaborated guys on. I think it will be super nice. But Edwin, tell me during the meantime, what are your aspirations for the future of Ipanga and in terms of success and even like gaming community? Is it going to be a community game? What do you want to make with Ipanga and build on the continent, but also outside of the continent?
I want it. I'm looking at it as a game that will have a community base where even our players can have freedom of speech to contribute to what they would love to see in the game, and also we're trying to build like a niche for players. So I'm trying to expand it to be like a sandbox in future, like where players now in Africa can now engage within. They can pick their desirable tribe and they can build worlds and clans within the game. That's what I'm looking at in the future of this game. Yeah.
Would you guys be open actually, like if Disney tomorrow will tell you, I want to produce like, like the new Iwaju, will you be up to it or not? Because it's amazing. I mean, I will share, like the picture, like where during the recording, but what would you say?
Sure.
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Nice. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like gaming more and more is also going into this narrative way, or also, like you get a game, you also get a series and so on. Do you think like it's something that will work also in games, for your game, for your project, or you feel like it's more specific to and tailored to some project, like, like big IPs, like, I don't know, Angry Birds and stuff like that?
I think we make the narrative work. Make sure the narrative is right. Then we look at the game. Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so guys, you guys had an amazing collaboration, and at Talent Wave, we are all about like linking talent together, especially on the continent. Do you have any advice for all the talents that are listening to us on Africa, or we can better support each other, or you guys you collaborated and so on?
Maybe if the first advice that I can give is to be open-minded also, and don't be afraid to share what you're doing with others. Don't hesitate also to try to collaborate with other studios, because one thing that I also realize is we have too much small studios in Africa, sometimes in the same countries, but those studios can just simply, merge to have one or two single studios that can have more skills on, to share and be able now to develop strong games or game more valuable for the market, all this stuff. But everyone just want to create their own studios is now too much. I think we going maybe too fast on the market, but we need to be going more slow and try to stabilize, to have a kind of stable step of a level, to have something more strong, to be able to have a good games in the market. Yeah. So don't hesitate to try to collaborate with other studios. Don't hesitate to show what you're doing also, and don't just hiding on your side to in this kind of industry, because you need people feedback to improve what you're doing. You need people feedback to be sure that what you are doing is good, or your people will like also, or your community, to also create a communities around what you are doing. You need to be open. You need to show what you're doing. So it's really important also.
Yeah, very, very true. And the last thing I would say is they also like they should find their strength, and then they will know exactly what they need. Like for example, we knew our strength and we knew what hand we needed, and that's how they helped us to find and locate the people we need to help us to grow this together. And I'll stand on what is Dean said: uniting, collaborating, like share the African studios, or maybe other or other European studios. Anyone out there who might be listening to this, they also need to just look at working together and finding common ground on whatever they are doing on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a stunning advice, especially for young entrepreneur. Like there is a wave of new talent, and it will also get some challenge, of course, but also a lot of innovation on the continent, and also a lot of new studio. So actually, I'm really curious to get from each of you. How do you see the gaming industry evolving in Africa? Is it something that is going to grow? Do you think it's something that is going to like not grow and so on? Like, how do you see it?
It's growing. It's growing.
It's growing, like it's big.
Yeah,
Like
it's big.
we're getting players every day. Every day players are coming and growing. And thanks to different countries like
South Africa.
China, South Africa, all these,
Yeah,
making devices accessible to many Africans to buy and play these
exactly.
games. Yeah. Yeah.
Love this. I mean, I think like there is a massive new audience that is coming, and I can totally relate. Thank you both. I think it was amazing insight for the community. I have a last question. Where can our listener find more information about your project, and where can they actually contact you directly? Is there some advice they want to ask, or just reach out?
So
Okay.
to join,
Lindsay, talk.
to join Malaika Games is very simple. Just reach me on LinkedIn and on our page, Malaika Games. Just leave a message and we will answer in the second. We are always online, always, and we also have
Exactly.
a mail there where you can send an email and can respond, and we are free also.
Yes.
Trying to maybe
Mhm.
if you want to maybe join me directly, also you can just find my my profile and send me also a message directly. Then we can talk also about.
Same applies to me. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm easily found. Just type my name, it will come. And our website for the project, we've made a page specifically for the community on the chromapixelgames.com/coming soon. That's where the game updates will be posted. And we are trying to create a blog page where our community can comment and see how we can engage in the website. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we're also working on a website, so soon it will be online. Yeah.
Edwin, Isdin, it was a pleasure to have you. Do you have anything else you want to share, or we covered it?
I think everything is okay for me. Everything is amazing. It was okay. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Everything's okay for me also.
Okay, guys, thank you for having been with us and for all what you shared to our audience. I think it was really insightful and your game is really, really beautiful. I would also share all the recording and the links in the description. So don't hesitate to follow those amazing founder and leader of the industry, and let's make the gaming grow all together on the continent and overseas. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah. Merci
Bye.
beaucoup.